In the darkest nights, we find our light. Battered souls, but we won't lose sight. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, we stand tall. United forever. Strength and courage will overcome. Surviving together, victorious. Never, never alone. Hand in hand, we'll face the unknown.
We see you, we hear you, and we believe you. Thanks, Bindu. I haven't done that, I think, since like my second live. It mutes me during the song, during the intro playing, and then it always just unmutes me. I had no idea I was already muted. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yay, nay? Can you hear me now? You can hear me. All right, good. Anyone does live, please note it's critical to pay attention to the chat. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Like I was just saying, Happy New Year. It's Surviving Together. Welcome. I'm so glad that you landed here. I'm going to have to cut that whole first part out, aren't I? And do an intro again. Oh my gosh. I haven't done that for quite a while. Like I was saying, it mutes me automatically during the song, but then it's supposed to unmute me, as it always does, when the song's over and the intro, is over and we go live. So I don't understand why I didn't today, but oh well. Thank you so much for letting me know and not letting me go for, I think 11 minutes the first time, and I definitely wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was so nervous. I think it was like I don't know, it was one of my first few lives, and I definitely wasn't. I was muted. It's not your fault, Misha. Go back to whatever you were doing. Let's say hi to everybody again. Oh, my Lord. What a way to start off the new year. But that's okay. You wouldn't guess that it is my 90th live today, guys. I can't believe it. Wednesday, February 5th, so my normal Wednesday, day after my first anniversary, will be my 100th live. I am so excited. That is my goal date, to have 500 subscribers. So cross your fingers. I've been doing some reading and listening to some YouTubes and trying to get some more information about getting my channel optimized, and I found some wonderful tips and have implemented those just today. So we'll see what helps. I certainly do want to still grow organically like we've been. So we'll see what happens. Baywatcher stopped by a lot earlier and just to wish a good evening and a good show. And I thank you very much. Tommy Stiggs is in the house. Happy to have you. Great show earlier today. And really interesting that you edit your live shows and then post them live again. I'm not sure how you do that. Do you just go live, but then click play on whatever video you've edited? I'm interested to talk to you about that. Crystal M, I'm so glad you're here. I don't know at what point you guys actually heard me, but Crystal should be moving into her new place this month. So we're very excited for her. Crystal, definitely let us know as soon as you know a moving date. That is going to be a big celebration. It has been a long time coming this year. Hi, Kermal. Thank you for staying up. I'm so glad to see you. And that's about the point we said no sound in. And I saw Thindu. And all of you others who told me I had no sound. Oh my gosh, how does it feel talking to yourself? Well, I didn't know, so I wouldn't know how it feels. No, I do, because like I said, I went 11 minutes. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. And I had a guest on who was just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, and I just thought that they were just listening to me. La, 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 la. Oh my gosh. Hi, Delilah. Headed to dinner. No problem. Have a great dinner. I hope that you, I hope they have a good one. So let me get down through. Hey, yay, you can hear me. Yay, yay, yay. Everyone can still hear me. That's wonderful. Polly Donuts. Hey, how you doing? Glad to see you tonight. Big hugs to you, Polly. Big hugs. Brazy Girl stopped in. Yay. And my new friend, Echo. Guys, I wish I had my my wrenches in here today, but I don't. But I will drop. Oh, there's one. There's Shannon. Hi, Shannon. How you doing? Guess what? You're my only mod tonight, right now. If you could start dropping links, I'd appreciate it. Echo is a new person I just met, and she's got a wonderful channel, Living Her Best Life at 60, and great crew over there. And I have been so fortunate through the village to meet so many different channels, and through Tommy Stiggs and Thindu, it's a whole community of people that I never would have met, different than the people I normally have in my chat. But we all have stuff in common, and that's the wonderful thing, connection. It's a beautiful thing. No worries, Mission. No worries. Misha said she gave a great speech about surviving together and was muted as well. Well, I guess it is just the evening for it. Welcome to Sassy, guys. We don't always get it right. Sassy is our SAS community. Get it? Sassy. We love it and love that you guys are here. So I think when I was muted, I did say, please go over and check out the Comfort Corner with Shannon and Jimena. They are a wonderful connection as well. Just talking about positivity and light and connection and healing, all things that we are definitely in favor of over here. So welcome, Jimena. She fell asleep. That's okay. I fell asleep right before you. I know I popped in a bunch of your lives earlier today. I woke up with just a nasty headache because of the weather here. It's been snowing like a big dog all day. Excuse me 1 second. Oh my goodness. I could have muted, but I couldn't get there in time. That's all right. So I actually took a nap as soon as I got up. I think I was in Tommy Stiggs for a little bit and taking my medication. And as soon as that was over, bam, I was out until about 9:30. I was up, popped into a bunch of places, and I think until about noon, 1 o'clock. And then I was out again until 4. And thankfully, that second nap was what I needed. My migraine meds really do take it out of me. And I certainly needed that second nap to kind of knock the rest of that headache out and get me back to feeling good. So we're doing great now that we're not muted. Misha, go, 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 go. You have been doing so much for the village these past 36 hours or so. Get out of here and go do your things. You edit and repost, Tommy. That's how you do the lives. That's interesting. We'll see if I ever have a piece of it that I find interesting enough that I want to do that with. But I did some changes to the channel, and we'll see for optimization purposes. You know, when I first started this, it was just kind of all about, you know, me and my channel and what can I give to you guys. And it was not about optimization or, you know, I didn't even know when I started this how we would grow, or if I would grow, how many people I might reach, if you guys would find value in what I have to give you. If you'd listen to me for an hour or two. So it's been a wonderful almost year. It's 11 months at this point, 11 months in just a couple of days. And I am amazed, thrilled, honored, humbled that you guys have thought enough of me and what I do here, that you come back time after time, as well as all the new people that have been coming over. Cheech, how you doing? So good to see you tonight. I know for some people it's not night, and it might even be going on going on morning. Yeah, as you can see, I don't have the perfected appearance. You know, I got little strays going all over the place in here. I do kind of like this look. This, you know, it kind of looks like I got blonde highlights. They're actually white, but you can't tell. And I'm covering my little widow's peak where I'm starting to lose a little hair, you know, right here. Those women issues we don't like to admit, that we're losing hair and thinning. Definitely going to have to get it cut soon, though. I have let it go too long, and I'm almost getting to the point where I'm sitting on it. And that is where that crosses the line with me. That's way too long. Imperfection is perfection. There you go. Absolutely. I am going to put a banner up here, and I don't want to leave it up too long because of how big it is. And I tried to get it smaller, guys, but I do not have the premium version of StreamYard, and I cannot figure out how to get this any smaller. This is as small as I can get it without having premium. But I checked the prices on that today, and it is double what I'm paying. It's almost $90 a month. So if you guys want to donate, anything you do goes right back into this channel. It is not a moneymaker for me at all. I am looking to upgrade some equipment, my camera being one of them, and upgrade my StreamYard as well. So there's a few more options that I can use. One, I can get this smaller, I think, and then I can also get it to scroll across the bottom. So that is what any donations will be used for here, just so that you know. Thindu says, Jimena, read his cards. I don't know what that means, but hopefully you do. Oh, I didn't get back in the chat. Shannon, Jimena did a tarot reading for her. Oh, fabulous. You know, I've been talking to her about doing that, and we just haven't had the time yet together to do that. So I'm hoping to have it at some point. Maybe that's something that you can do, Jimena. Maybe we can do it live, or you can come on and talk about, you know, I know you do on your own channel as well, but I'd love to have you on here and we could talk about some of the things that interest you from a tarot Wicca standpoint. And that would be, I think that'd be really interesting. Thindu, maybe you should have Jimena on your channel in the afternoon. I think you're on like right after she is, within an hour, I think, after she is. So maybe if she has time sometime, you could go on her channel. That would be fabulous. I would love to see her do a tarot reading on your channel, Thindu. What do you think, Jimena? Oh, Crystal, I don't know, how does this work? Oh, yay, if I put something up, look at that, I'm Thindu. Can only see me from my nose down now. Wow. And it's huge. But Crystal says, I'm so thankful that you started this channel, reached out, encouraged me to come over and join your channel. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You add just as much as everybody else, and we're so happy to have you. And I am so glad that I have been able to see you grow throughout this year. You may not see it. You may not feel it. I hope you do, because I certainly do. That is one of the most rewarding parts of doing this channel, is seeing how people have been able to grow through my channel, through the things that I presented here, but just through all the other channels that have come off of the village, and you know, from being with Tommy Stiggs and Thindu, and just all these other connections that we're making, and seeing people grow in their lives. It's fabulous. Cheech, I didn't know you had a channel. I will definitely subscribe. That is awesome. When you create the banner, there's a box for scroll. Huh. I wonder. I'll have to try. I'll have to play around with that and edit it. Thindu says, yes, we can try that tomorrow. Oh, thanks for reminding me and everybody else, Shannon. Yeah, please, if you could, like, subscribe if you haven't. As I said, I've got a 500 subscriber goal by February 4th, which is my 1-year anniversary. February 5th, which is our normal Wednesday evening live, will be my 100th show. Today is my 90th show. Can you believe it? I am flabbergasted. Teresa, I'm so glad to see you. Here's another wonderful lady. She is a grief specialist and she is just starting a channel, Wounds to Wisdom, I think you decided to call it. Did I see that correctly? If I got that wrong, let me know. Tommy says I can do it live and walk through. Do I have to create a whole separate banner, or because I clicked on the banner, but I didn't see the option for it. Oh, wait, there's an edit option. Oh, scroll. Ta-da! I just had to do the edit option. I don't know what the PayPal is. There we go. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. I would have liked a little bit more space there between Together and Cash App, but all my spaces didn't seem to make a huge difference there. But regardless of which one you're on, it's either at Surviving Together or the money symbol Surviving Together. So I was very fortunate that I didn't have to try and pick something else, because Lord only knows what I'd get. Kaboom! There you go. Thanks, Tommy. I was watching this Ghanaian guy. He has these little YouTube tutorials, and I actually loved him because he was 10-minute videos, like quick to the point. Here's what you can do to, help your optimization. And there were some things that I knew, like doing keywords, but I didn't know where I was supposed to put them in my actual YouTube studio. I put them in my video descriptions, but I didn't know for the studio. So I've got that going. So we will see. We'll see what happens with everything. Hollywood, how you doing tonight? I hope everyone has been having a happy new year so far. We have left 2024 in the dust. And can I be the first one on my channel to say good riddance? It was an emotional 2024. There were a lot of ups and downs. Hopefully, what I am going to bring forward through 2024 are the lessons that I learned, then the things that I learned not to do, things that I don't want to do. We talked my last live about this, about what can we leave behind in 2024. So that's where all the other stuff is going to stay. It's going to stay in 2024, and we're moving forward into 2025. So that is what I want to talk about tonight, is what do you want in 2025? Before we get started with that, though, however, it is the last night of Hanukkah, and I wanted to show you just a couple of things that were really special this Hanukkah season, and there were some archaeological finds. And let me share my screen with you so that you can see. So this is, as you can see, a 1700-year-old oil lamp. And if you can see here on the bottom, it's upside down, but here is a menorah on this oil lamp. And then there is a palm leaf off to the side here. And they think that this dates to about the 3rd or the 4th century. I'm going to play this for you for just a moment, because I want you to see, although you're getting this huge picture of this oil lamp, I want you to see the size of what most oil lamps were. Look at that. Look at how small that actually is. But that was found in last week, in our early days of Hanukkah, and just an incredible find to find something. A lot of menorahs, you're not going to find them stamped with a menorah like that on there. So just a wonderful, wonderful find. And then let me share this one with you. I don't have it up, I guess. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get it this time. Here we go. All right. So here you can see this is a hoard of coins. And these coins date back to around 80 BCE. These are coins that were minted during the reign of King Alexander Jannaeus. And the reason this is so special is that he is a direct descendant of Mattathias, whose eldest son, Judah Maccabee, was the leader of the revolt, the Jewish revolt against the Syrian army, and defeated the Syrian army. And it was just after the defeat, when they went to rededicate the second temple, that we have Hanukkah was born out of that. So an incredible find. You don't see a lot of coins that they found from this era. These ones on top were the ones that were just found. These ones on the bottom are ones that they have found in the past. I'm showing you them. So they're all cleaned up. There's an 8-pointed star on one side and then King Jannaeus' seal on the other. And that was found last week as well during Hanukkah. So 2 incredible finds during this Hanukkah season. And I wanted to share that with you. If you haven't guessed, archaeology is definitely one of my loves. I am an archaeology nut. If I could do nothing but go around the world looking at archaeological sites, and on my bucket list, I have so many of them. You'll find all the countries that I want to visit, not only for cultural reasons, but mainly because of the archaeological ruins that I can see. And I would love to participate in one. I know even around the US that there are ones that you can do as a layperson. And I hope to do one of those. There's one that was a couple weeks during the summer, and you could go and dig in the dirt with them, and then also spend some days in their pottery room reconstructing the pottery, which is like big jigsaw puzzles. And if there's a game I love, is jigsaw puzzles, any type of puzzles. I'm definitely my mother's child. We love puzzles, games, reading, and archaeology. I definitely get it all from her. So Greece, as you can imagine, is definitely top on my list for visiting on my bucket list. But so is Italy. That would be second in line, right? I would go from Greece, Crete, Italy, Sicily, and then work my way around the Mediterranean. That's what I would absolutely love to do. Hi, Marie. How are you? Have I ever watched Time Team? No, I haven't. It was on BBC. I will have to see that. Shannon says she wants to visit the Oracle in Greece. Oh, yes. The Oracle, the Pantheon. I mean, there's just so many. All of the stuff with the Minoan civilization. It's just really fascinating. They just recently unearthed some more Etruscan things, and it's been very interesting. They have been doing DNA testing on the Etruscans to kind of figure out where they came from, because the original idea was, and this is mainly from historical texts, that they came from Anatolia. And then there was somebody who said, no. These were people who were within Italy, what we think of as Italy now, and kind of just came to what has been known as Eritrea, Etruscan, where they have, not Eritrea, that's different, the Etruscan region. But it's definitely looking like they did emigrate in because of the huge influx of people and the change that happened, the amount of change in the short period of time. So normally when they see change and people taking over things, it's kind of this gradual, slow oh, what's the word am I looking for? Adoption of other cultures, things within the other culture. But this was a pretty big change for that region. Things that hadn't been done in that region they were seeing before. And they said one of the major ones was their burial customs. I know that archaeology is not what you guys subbed in for today, but you get me going on it, and I will definitely be going for great a long time. Carmel says Greece is a treasure country. Absolutely. Europe is another place I would love to visit, just not only for all of the different culture that is there, but because of the different things that you find there. They've just been doing some amazing work in Sweden and Finland. The Viking stuff that they've been uncovering recently is just incredible. They have recently, oh, I forget what country it was, raised a Viking ship. They found it, I guess, a number of years ago. I'm thinking it was 10 or 20 years ago, but they finally just raised it within like the last month. And it will probably spend another 5 to 10 in preservation before they're able to, put it out. But I do know that I think it's Norway has one on display. And I would love to see that, as well as I'd love to see the Northern Lights again. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to see them as low as my latitude tonight, but we are so cloudy because it's been snowing all day. Just not going to be possible, even if they're out there. You've seen the Viking ships, Shannon? Carmel, it was Denmark. You know what? That does sound familiar that they raised it in Denmark. I think you're right. I think you're right on that. Let's see. Anything else off topic that I wanted to talk about tonight? Hang on, I have a few of my notes, but I think that was it for that stuff. So we are on to our main topic of today, which is what do you want in 2025? And it doesn't even have to be a goal per se that you're working towards. It could just be a dream. It could be anything. So it doesn't have to be a resolution or anything of that nature. But what do you want? Oh, Crystal, so come visit me and Kim in the winter months. You probably see the Northern Lights. I would love to do that because Janet's right next door in Alberta. And I just think that would be so fabulous. I think I have to get myself to Canada and then fly from there because there just doesn't seem to be any good flights from Detroit as a way to get there. Jimena wants to lose the additional weight that she still wants to lose for her health, travel, and heal. I think those all sound absolutely wonderful, and I am with you on that. William from Brooklyn, how are you doing? Happy New Year, bud. Thank you for stopping in. Teresa says, I want more joy and community in my life. Well, you know what? You have definitely come to the right place for community with us and the village. So excited that you are starting your channel. As soon as if you already have a channel link, you can drop it in and Shannon can drop it. Shannon, I don't know if she has a direct link to her channel yet, but let us know when your inaugural live date or video date, whichever you're doing, it comes. And I am so excited. Teresa is somebody who is a grief counselor. I mean, she specializes in it, and there's so much that I can learn because that is definitely an area where I only know, I'm sure, scratching the surface on it. Shannon says that's her goal with her channel is to have community and joy. Absolutely. This connection that I have discovered with all of you truly, I think, got me through 2024. I started my healing journey in earnest again in 2023 and really started looking at what I needed to do. I had already unpacked a lot of my life. It's the reason I was able to start this channel and bring you my story of abuse, because I had pretty much dealt with it, I thought. But through my journey with this and the education that I've had, just learning about different topics as I bring them to you, because I am no expert and I don't pretend to be one. Teresa, I would love to have you on my channel here, and collab and have you present pieces of your knowledge. So if you want to email me, survivingtogether@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. My email is in every video description that I have, so you can find it there. I think that that would be wonderful. This coming week, Teresa says. Okay, wonderful. Well, definitely let us know. I know you've popped in different people's lives, so we'll definitely get the word out. And as soon as I have it, I can do a community post and post it here too. And if anybody is doing anything in particular that, you know, it's an anniversary of something, or you're going to do a real special episode and you want some extra help getting the word out, please let me know. I mean, something beyond just dropping your links in here. I encourage everybody to do that. I want to promote everybody I possibly can. I know that we're all small channels. Some of us are just getting started. Some of us have been on for 2 or 3 years. Tommy Stiggs is doing great. You know, he has, I think, 5,600 subs as of this morning, which is fabulous. I just checked my numbers. Let me make sure that I get this right. I'm going to bring it to you live. We have 330 subscribers, guys. I am 170 away from 500 in a month. We can do this. I can do this. I know it. It is just a matter of getting the word out to more people. I am fully convinced that everybody can use some information about trauma in their life, because whether you identify things that have happened in your life as trauma or not, sometimes you get through those episodes with, you know, not too much problem, but it doesn't mean that there aren't effects that linger on that you don't realize. So I just want to get the word out to everybody. So definitely channel goals. I do have them. You've heard about a few of them. One of my big ones is learning how to do video editing. I have looked up several videos that video editors, videos editing for dummies. I wish that existed, but some simple ones, because it's definitely not a love of mine. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it, but the AI that goes along with StreamYard is a great tool. It's a nice idea. It just doesn't work very well for my channel, and I can't use it for any of my lives that go over 2 hours, which is kind of most of them. Some of them by only a few minutes, and I don't want to cut this off at 2 hours and have that be my drop dead time, you know, for still talking about something. But maybe it does give me a little bit of a impetus to cut my babbling at the end off if I'm getting close to 2 hours. So I do want to learn more about video editing. It's something that right now to even put out the simplest video, edited video, it takes me hours. It literally takes me hours, and it is so much of my time that I get frustrated, and I don't want to spend that much time. I want to be able to go, okay, I can drop this in, okay, I can drop this in, and we're done. So, you know, that's wonderful. Yes, Teresa, Shannon, if you guys need help connecting, please let me know. Either one of you can email me and I can put you in touch with the other, if you don't have a way to connect with you directly. Hi, Bonnie. How you doing? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we had tried to get together during the Christmas live. It just didn't work out timing wise. By the time I was ready to have her on, she was, I think you were already asleep because of how late it was. Um, but absolutely, absolutely. We should do a game night. I keep thinking about that, about doing game night, but uh, I haven't gotten into it yet. But maybe that's something that you and I can do so that we can actually plan it and I'll have a day and it'll be set. Um, Speaking of games, fun, Saturday is Laugh Saturday, guys. It's the first Saturday of the month. With any luck, my friend David is going to be back on with me. My friend Janet with Carry On, hopefully, is going to be on. And possibly Jen Marie if she's feeling well. I know that she's had a few health issues, so she hasn't been feeling the best. So she was going to pop on as well. Um, took a took something from one of your followers, Tommy Thindu, and I think we're going to do some rounds of Would You Rather. I think that would be fun. So amongst some memes and some funny signs and some probably stupid criminal stories, because I absolutely love them, it does amaze me how stupid criminals can be. I think that we'll do some Would You Rather. So look forward to that Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And somebody else, Gianni, how are you tonight? Big hugs, dude. Big hugs. So glad you're here. Did you stuff your face well? I didn't get out and get my steak and my shellfish. Hopefully, the Italian gods, and whatever your good luck things will cross your finger. I'm doing it on Friday, so I'm pushing it off just a couple of days, but so hopefully I'll still have the good luck. I ended up going to bed early last night. I was exhausted. I think I could feel the headaches coming on because of the weather. We've been having some for a couple of days, and I did not make it to midnight. I laughed at my son and his girlfriend and his friends. They made it just after the ball dropped, turned the TV off, and friends left. Girlfriend and son went to bed. Definitely not the staying out until all hours of the night like it used to be. Um, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, William from Brooklyn. I'm not sure if I should call you William or Bill. I think some people have called you Bill, but I'm not sure, and I don't like doing that unless I know for sure. So let me know. He says he'll send some people over here, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you find any lives, or I do have some videos on some of the topics that I've done that are up that are shorter, 15, 20 minutes longer. That is definitely another of my goals for 2025. I know I've been talking about it, and I have several written up, and I just haven't gotten off my ass and done it, to be honest with you. 2024, especially the last couple months, kicked my butt emotionally. And definitely, okay, I got to put this up because Gianni is telling me the actual Italian New Year's thing is, I can't even say that, something, cotechino and lentils. The fish thing is Christmas, but they do well either ways. I had vegetable soup last night. Did that count? It didn't have lentils in it, but I tried. I love lentils. Hi, Cosmic. How are you? What time in the world is it by you? Oh my goodness. So glad to see you. Here's another woman that just broke 2024 wide open for herself and has come so far in her healing journey. And I am so excited to see what you do in 2025 with your advocacy. And I would love to have you on it sometime, even willing to go on a different time that is more convenient for you, even if that means it's the middle of the night for me. Don't mind. email me, please. Cotechino. Pork and lentils. Oh gosh, that sounds good. I love lentils and barley. My mom would make this beef barley soup with lentils and all kinds of vegetables and stuff, and it yummy, yummy, yummy. Anytime is good for you. Well, email me, please, and we will definitely, because I don't have a contact for you. Surviving Together, sass@gmail.com. Find it in the video descriptions, and I would be honored, truly honored to have you on here to talk about whatever you want, whether it's your healing journey, whether it's your advocacy that you're doing now. You have so much to share and so much to give. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. Do you have a channel now too? I think you do. If so, let us know, and I'd be happy to drop the link. Teresa says, add red lentils to carrot soup is awesome. That sounds wonderful. I love you too, Christy. Absolutely love you too. And I did get the chickpea noodles, Tommy. I haven't tried them yet, and that's because my kitchen sink is fixed. I didn't tell you guys. My kitchen sink is fixed. I forgot. I did announce it in Theme News Live. My son said, I'm a welder, not a plumber, but the kitchen sink is fixed. So now I have to put my kitchen back together and clean it from top to bottom. So that is definitely one of my goals for tomorrow. I know, finally, right? I have been without a kitchen sink for about a week now. So I will be running. Your kitchen sink is broken now? Oh my gosh, what is up with this? I go from mine to yours. I swear to God, I didn't send it down. But yes, but then the faucet is dripping now, which is why he didn't touch the faucet. The little thing's tight on tight, you know. So I was just like, if it's not one thing, it's another. But it's like an every 5-second thing, you know. It's like drip, and then you wait, and then it'll drip again, and then wait, and it's just like, doing the gypsy thing right now, Cosmic. That's okay. You know what? You'll land where you're supposed to. You'll land with where you're supposed to. Okay, Shannon, do you see Cosmic's link? You dropped it right there. Okay, see, there you go. There is our friend Cosmic Christie's channel. So head on over there and subscribe to her and go check out what she's been doing. Just a wonderful advocate now for the trauma community. And again, I couldn't be more proud. I have learned the joys of carrots. Truly, I love carrots. Cooked carrots in things are okay, but don't give me just a side of cooked carrots. That's, to me, disgusting. They're called simmies in, in Yiddish. It's they're generally sweetened with either sugar or honey and butter, and I can't stand them. I never have. I don't, but put them in soups and things like that. Love them. Pot roast, could do without them. Nope, don't want to eat them. They're cooked plain. You're eating them just by them. Don't like them. But I love making my own gravy from whatever meat that I'm making. And I made one, and I ended up leaving too many of the carrots in. But when I pureed it, it was almost like a tomato-based sauce that I ended up with, this thick gravy stuff. It was phenomenal. So you know what? I didn't even have to add any extra, slurry, cornstarch and water or arrowroot and water to thicken it. Carrots did it all for me. And I've discovered if you do that with your potatoes too, take a few extra potatoes and you puree them in whatever, that can just add as your thickener, and you don't have to add anything extra to it as well. is just absolutely wonderful. Carrot. See, I've never had just carrot soup. I do like carrots in soup. Teresa says she makes a creamy carrot and lentil soup. Now that does sound good. Yes, Johnny, the starch from the potatoes, definitely, that's what helps thicken it. And I just never thought that the extra carrots would break down so well. And it didn't taste like carrots with everything else. I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to end up basically with, carrot gravy, but it didn't. And even after, my son was like, oh my God, that was phenomenal. It was so great. And he was asking me what was in it. And when I told him it was like mainly carrots, he was dumbfounded. Did not taste like it at all. You put carrot in your pumpkin soup. Oh, I didn't think about that. Now, I haven't made pumpkin soup, but I have made butternut squash soup, which I tell you, yummy. A little bit of nutmeg. Very good. Mana, you haven't eaten. Sounding hungry. I know, I only had a bagel earlier, which, gosh darn, I did grow up in New York, and I do love me my bagels and cream cheese. So bad for you. God, why do bagels have to have so many starches? It just kills me. OG Sunshine, hello. So glad to see you. Here is somebody I met on Echo's channel earlier today. Or no. Izzy's, right? Izzy's channel, I think. If you guys could drop a link to Izzy's channel as well. I know she's not here quite at the moment, but she does some wonderful AI work. Yes, Izzy's. Okay. She does some wonderful AI work, and it's just the cutest stuff. She did a wonderful take on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It is an adorable video. So if you guys haven't seen it, just lovely. You're going to eat and listen? Oh, yay. Oh, no, that's interesting. Now, Cosmic, I am with you sometimes, but I used to be grown up. Food groups, don't touch. No. Literally, there could be, if there was gravy, it better not touch my peas or anything else on it besides what I wanted, or those would be going to somebody else. Absolutely not. They did not touch. As I've gotten older, when I started cooking and putting ingredients together and realizing how this flavor and that flavor combined to make a whole new flavor, that's when I started being okay with my food touching each other. I still don't combine it like some people in my family do, where it's like, just put it on the plate and it does not matter where it all lands because it all goes down to the same place. No. You don't have Izzy's channel? Okay. I will try and drop Izzy's channel before and peas are gross unless they're in something. That's how I used to feel growing up, because my dad, they only bought the frozen vegetables. And my mom never really cooked them quite well enough. So they were crunchy, and still a little bit hard. And when you have only eaten canned peas and then you go to frozen, the textures are 100% different. I know people who grew up on frozen cannot stand canned peas because they say they're mush, which comparatively they are. I would put the peas in my mouth and I would put them in my hand and I would feed them to the dog. Because I did grow up in one of those households. It was, the food is on your plate. You will sit there until you eat it all. It's gone. That was the way we were grown up. And you sat there until it was gone. And in general, I try and eat it all. But yeah, we've realized Clean Plate Club has its place, but not to take it to the extreme. Leaving your kids sitting there for hours on end just in front of their plate. The lesson you're trying to impart is not going to get across. I can tell you that 100%. Because I've spoken about this issue with other people as well, and we all feel the same way with it. Ooh, fresh peas off the vine. Now, I will say I have not eaten them just out of the shell, but I have cooked them quickly because they don't need much. They are so tender. They're a pain in the ass to grow, though, because they vine up and you have to do those trussels and things. I just found it was such a pain in the butt. You love pea and ham soup? Okay, so let's see. I don't know if Dutch pea soup is the same thing, Kermel, but my mom and the rest of my family loves split pea soup. And it would have ham in it and stuff. But it was basically pureed peas. And so to me, it was like baby food. And I could not stand the texture. I like cream of soups, cream of potato and cream of asparagus and broccoli and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I love all that stuff. Maybe now if I was to try it, I'd like it more. But just to eat something that's pureed by itself, that texture, that baby food texture is just, help me out, OG. It's Izzy Ska, Izzyyska, I think. Yes. Okay, cool. Great. Thank you so much. See, split pea soup is delicious. Oh, Cosmic, you're on board with me. Left in your room for hours. Yep. It was yuck. It just is not a good way to teach somebody to eat their food. I'll tell you what. I definitely was with my son of, you know, you need to eat new foods, try a couple bites. You don't like it, fine. I would introduce it probably 3 or 4 times over the course of a few months. There were things that he eventually liked, and there were things that he didn't. Fortunately, his 2 favorite vegetables are asparagus and broccoli, believe it or not. The 2 things I could not stand growing up. I love them now, but could not stand growing up. I do think it's the baby food texture because I don't mind peas now. So it's got to be the baby food texture. If any of you guys have a recipe for pea and ham soup that does not puree the peas to baby food texture, send it to me. I would love to try it. I'd love to see if I actually like it. I could see doing like peas and ham, like putting frozen peas in it, not split pea, not the dry ones, but frozen peas and the ham bone and lentils and stuff like that, and leaving it more, you know, full, maybe a little bit of puree or just some arrowroot, you know, slurry to thicken it a little bit. And I think maybe I would like it that way. See, Gianni, I had never heard of this before. This is part of, like, you know, peas don't touch sauce type of thing that I had growing up, this food aversion, you know. You laugh at my McDonald's. I mean, I would eat all of my fries, and then I ate my hamburger, and I mean, whatever else I had. I ate every food group in and amongst themselves. It wasn't even a few bites of this thing and a few bites of that thing. Food didn't touch, but also I didn't touch other food groups until I was done with one. So it was like this little clock on my plate. But he said he puts peas in his short rib ragu. And the first time I came across this, I was like, why are there peas in this? And it isn't until you really get to know other cultures and their cooking, you know. We think of Italian cooking, but it's Italian American cooking. It's what I got in Italian restaurants, right? So it's not until I have an Italian friend who I go over to for dinner sometimes, and when he's making dinner, sometimes there are some things where I'm like, oh, and so I'm learning, and I'm learning from you guys, from all my Italian friends who are in the chat, and with Thindu and Stigs, I'm learning some of these recipes, and I think it's fabulous. It says in Sicily, my nonna put raisins in her meatballs, use breadcrumbs, like people use grated parm. I'm only not going, what? Because I did see that Stig's short, or maybe it was, who was making the stuffed mushrooms or stuffed peppers, and they put the raisins in it. Thindu was, one of you guys were making them. I think maybe it was Stig's. And he put raisins in it. And I was like, what in God's name are you doing putting raisins in here? I mean, I can see how it would offset hot stuff a little bit, add that sweet. But just chewing the raisins, I don't know. But I'd try it. I'd try it. The stuffed peppers did have anchovies. No, but Stiggs is saying, okay, Giannis is saying that was Stiggs. And he was doing something with the raisins. It sounds weird, but it's really good. I know that there are some really strange things that I have had that I did not think were going to taste good. And now I'm like, all right, I'll give most things a try. I mean, there's certain things that I don't eat. I won't say on principle, but just because I don't see a need, cow's balls. I don't have a desire to try them. I don't care if they're tasty. I just don't. I have other places I can get my protein from, and I'm just as happy to do that. Don't need it. Okay, chicken Veronique is the only recipe that I've ever made that has grapes in it. And I tell you, it's really good. So it's capers and grapes and in this cream sauce, and pound out your chicken really thin. It's pretty yummy. I had never had grapes in anything. I love grapes. I can't eat them too much because their sugar content is so high, but definitely, Jess, I wouldn't go out of your way to eat it if it doesn't sound good to you. Yeah, I know some people just go, oh, I just want to try it for the novelty. I'm good. No, I'm totally good. See, anchovies is another thing. I don't like real fishy things, and I don't like extremely salty things. So you add those together, and so anchovies never been those tins of sardines either. Pickled herring. Sorry. Don't know if you eat that, Cromel, but I'm just, I'm a whitefish girl, and pretty much any crustacean. So I will definitely be with you on the lobster and the langostinos. Love shrimp. Gianni, we were talking octopus the other day. The only octopus and squid I've had has been very badly prepared. It has not been flavorful. It has not been tender. I wouldn't go out of my way just to eat octopus just because it's octopus. But if somebody had made it, I would try it. So that's kind of where I am with things like that now. Yeah, exactly. Too much sugar. God, I love grapes. Salmon, I have gotten to like now. I didn't used to like it. It does have a certain flavor. I was never a lox gal. But I have since had salmon made well, flavored well, where they've added some spices to it, so it's not just the salmon flavor, and yummy. And it's so good for you. I'm still afraid to cook fish in my house, though. I'm just not very good at it, and I would hate to spend all that money and have it be a dry piece of nothing, right? See, this is the problem, Indigo, and welcome, and so glad to see you. Ooh, a recipe for salmon tacos. Now that sounds good. My son would love that. You guys want to send me recipes? I will post them in my community post. We could put something together. I know that Janet helped another creator with her thing. It's not Mexican. Doesn't matter if it's Mexican. Just substituting the fish, right? Didn't you say you could make anything a taco? I'm pretty sure it was you who said this, Jimena. I am not taking words out of your mouth. So therefore, salmon tacos is a thing, right? I don't cook kosher. Nope. I am definitely more of a cultural Jew than I am a practicing religious Jew. You know, the high holy days, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. It's not a high holy day, but a Talmud, one commanded by the Torah. Passover, our big ones I celebrate. But I got out of going to temple every week, mainly because I didn't. Our rabbi retired, and I didn't like the rabbi who took over for him. And we only have one Reform temple in the area. So halibut is a fish I have not had, Indigo, but I have heard okay things about it. I'm thinking that I could try it. I definitely need to try some more crock pot recipes. I haven't cooked much with it. Ooh, garnishing it with purple cabbage, slaw, and pineapple salsa. Now that sounds yummy. I do like cooked cabbage. I know that maybe that's weird, but I love it. I love cooked cabbage. Cabbage, potatoes, and corned beef. Gotta be a favorite meal of mine. Man, I can feel my rolls hanging right now as we're doing all this thing. I think I'm just gaining weight sitting here talking about this. Is this what we're doing in 2025? Is to, you know, I didn't talk about my personal goals for 2025. Exercise, getting an exercise routine, something that works for me, walking being mainly the big thing. It's harder to do when it's so cold out for me because the cold just burns my lungs. Even if I have stuff over my ears do tend to get cold very quickly, and then I get headaches from it. But I do want to get into an exercise routine more for my health and fitness and gaining muscle, and then for losing weight. If that comes along with it, great. But otherwise, it's strength. So it's strength training, walking and doing some strength training. And I need to get into a routine of that. I don't know about you guys, but I find that I just lose my day. And even when I start my day with it, it's like I'll feel like I then up started my day too late. So unless I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which sometimes I am, but getting up and doing it, then I can't. It's hard for me to do morning exercise. I get sick to my stomach. I can't eat before I exercise. So finding the time where it works is difficult, because I do want to try and do more cooking in 2025. Cooking more meals for my family is definitely one of my goals. But I work full time. So simplicity is definitely high up on the list. Prep is what takes the most time. And thankfully, my son is getting a little more helpful in the kitchen to where he's willing to be helpful in the kitchen and help me a little bit afterwards. I think he knows if there's going to be a good meal on the other end of it, and he's seen those good meals come out of it, he's more willing to help out with that. Unfortunately, he's just been working 11-hour shifts, at a fabrication shop, and that takes it out of you. You get up at 3:30 in the morning, you're not home till 4:30, and it just, to then ask him to spend, an extra 45 minutes in the kitchen with me, I just can't. And that's the mom in me, I know. And I know I've been working all day too, but I work from home and I'm here, so I feel like I should be doing more of that. And that's part of my guilt from him growing up and me not cooking as he was growing up. Many of you know I've spent the last decade kind of putting myself together after I lost it, and cooking wasn't on the list for me. So 2025 definitely something to be adding to this cooking for me. Indigo says cooking's a goal for her. You've used Factor. Now I've seen their ads. I did use one of them for a time. And it was super helpful. I think it was Home Fresh or Fresh something or whatever it was. Again, it was just finding the time, working until 6 or 7 and then trying to go down, and even though the stuff was there, the recipe was right there, it was just the energy and the draining. And so I got to start my day earlier so I can end my day earlier for work, so that I can fit in the cooking and fit in the exercise. And then you can just see how in my brain it just becomes so overwhelming. So I think what I'm going to do is start with just like 15 minutes worth of either of some sort of exercise, whether it's strength training, my piddly little 3-pound weights, or whether it's walking, and just do something very, very short until I can get into a routine with it. And I'm sticking to that routine and see how it goes. And then I can lengthen it. And do something, different. Hi, Sven. How are you? How are things going? We were just talking about, we have been talking about food and our goals for just, I don't even want to say goals. What do you want in 2025? And it doesn't have to be a goal that you've set. I definitely would love to travel. That's something I want in 2025. It's not a particular goal. I don't know that I'll get to do it. I don't have a special savings account set aside for that, but something that I want. Goal-wise, however, yes, exercise is in short bursts is something that I want to do. And so by limiting, I think I know that I'm going to walk for 15 minutes. It's something it's short. It's something I can fit into my schedule. It's defined versus, I just want to be healthier this year, which can be something that you want. But if you're going to actually make it a goal, if it's something you're working towards, certainly need to make those steps more definitive and say, well, what can I do to do that? And breaking it down. And when you break it down, look at all that stuff and start with just one or two of those things, because I tell you, there is so many things that you can do that it can get overwhelming. And I think that's why a lot of people end up, losing their resolutions so quick, because it's such an overwhelming change. So if we can make more micro changes in our lives and do them one at a time until you fit something in and it's routine and it's something that you're doing, then we can do it. So I have a goal of cooking at least one homemade meal a week. That is my goal starting in January, and to walk 15 minutes a day. My two big personal things, my cooking and my exercise. Once a week, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, right? But I know that I can do it on a weekend, on a Saturday or a Sunday when I have more time. And when I fit that in on a regular basis, maybe it'll take me a couple months, I don't know. I fit that on a regular basis and I get back into the swing of things with that. I know that I can start adding it into the weekly. Then it's going to be one on the weekend and one during the week. And when I get that weekly one in, and I can find my shortcuts and find where I'm fitting it in and find how I'm doing it with my work schedule, I'll be able to expand it. So I'm hoping I'm not going to be cooking 7 days a week. I can tell you that right now by the end of 2025, and it's not even a goal, but maybe 4 days a week. My son's not here every night. He's out with his girlfriend and stuff too. And otherwise it's just me. So cooking one meal can last for several, unless he's taking it for lunch, which actually ends up usually happening. And I like that. I like that he's taking something that we made and has a good meal for his lunch instead of taking something, pre-made out of the freezer. I think I missed somebody coming in, and I missed a little bit in the chat too. Elaine, how are you? Now, Elaine, definitely I saw on Echo's channel this morning, and I am honored that you came over this evening. This Factor has a lot of options, and some are microwave. Now, that would be helpful. That would be helpful versus having everything that you have to make yourself. And it's funny price-wise, because especially if you're a new customer, and January is a great time for this, guys, because everyone's getting on the health kick. So everything exercise and health food related is on sale. And if you're a first-time sub, HelloFresh, that was the one I did. And I think I paid $50, and I had 2 meals a day for 7. So I think it was like 14 meals for $15. And when you look at all the ingredients that they give you and everything, I would have spent way more than that in the store. And some of them, the little things that you add, you don't actually use all of what they give. They do give you a little bit more, whether it's a specialty oil or a specialty ingredient, a spice or something. You don't necessarily have to use all of that. And so then you have it left over. And now you have this spice that you can use in something else, which is fabulous. And they do that to encourage you to be able to make these recipes again, because they actually send you the recipe things. No exercise for you? Is there anything that you can do? I got my mom finally into chair yoga, and I found out on Christmas she has been doing it religiously, and I joined her on Christmas Day, and we did it together, and I hope that she continues it. And for right now, that's all she can do. Walking long distances, she can't, or even really short distances is hard for her. She's on oxygen, so wherever she goes, she has to carry her oxygen tank. Even the portable one is, wow, it's pretty good size, probably about the size of a 2-liter cooler or something. And so it's much more difficult. But the chair yoga, she's doing well with it. I swear, she was doing those arms more than I could, and she'd only been doing it I think for like a few weeks. Indigo, I wonder if some of this chair yoga might be good for you, because you can do it inside, and there's all different levels. I mean, my mom is doing a very basic level, when they ask you to raise your arms to a certain level, or, put your knees up to a certain level or at a certain angle. You can adjust all of that. And she's finding, where she can actually do it. And that is something that I think is a huge factor in motivation, is doing something and feeling like you can do it. There's nothing worse than saying, okay, I'm going to start this exercise routine, and at the end of it, you're 100% exhausted. You feel like you didn't do very well with it. Watching people who are in so much better shape than you can be disheartening. There's so many options for chair yoga, or utilizing your furniture for exercise equipment that you can modify to do to whatever fitness level that you're at, and to whatever restrictions and limitations you have. I'm a huge proponent of it right now. professionally, stopping is gotta be one of my top ones in presentation. I don't do like as much. That was a horrible one growing up. I was like with every sentence, but now I'm still stuck on my and want to cut those out. So if I end up doing this, it's generally because I'm swallowing an Oh, Kermel, I am so sorry. Will you do what you need to do? You know, so if that's just healthy eating to, be able to stay healthier for a longer time, then, hugs and love to you, Kermel. Hugs and love. That is the most that I can have. Crystal M, I think so. My mom, you guys got introduced to her in my Hanukkah live, and I don't really remember the last time she's done exercise on a regular basis. She's had a hip replacement. She's had knee surgery or foot surgery, and she's able to do it. So I think that you can find one. There's so many out there on YouTube, so many free things. My mom has a couple of different apps she's been doing. So definitely look into it and keep looking if you don't find one that you like. Keep looking. Oh, Indigo, that's wonderful. Ordering a padded folding chair. Yeah, I have a butt cushion for my office chair because of my sciatica, my tailbone. It definitely is, hurts. And I need that. So even in my office, my ergonomic office chair, I have a back pillow and I have a butt pillow to help me. Oh, see, this is wonderful. First off, wake up to yourself. Welcome here. You found me from a shout out at Echo's channel. Thank you. I love. Oh, Trace. Is it Trace or Tracy? Do you pronounce the E? Because it could go both ways. From South Australia. That's wonderful. We just had our friend Cosmic Christy in here, and she is in Australia as well. And I don't know what part right now. But Wake Up says, I'm in a chair, spinal injury for nearly 49 years. Wow. And have managed to exercise from a chair. Well, if that isn't an endorsement, that is fabulous. Yeah, medical trauma sucks. It certainly does. And, I lost 65 pounds a few years ago. Gosh, it's going on almost over 3 years now. And in the past year, I put on some of that weight back. I love me my carbs, and I wasn't exercising. So, and I've noticed even with putting on part of that weight back on, my sciatica is worse than it was. So that extra weight pressing on my scar tissue, which presses on my sciatic nerve, just really adds it to me. Okay, Indigo says Christy was visiting Queensland last she knew. Wonderful. Yeah, Indigo, I have a huge kitchen table as well. It's actually a formal dining room table, and it was a gift from a relative for my first marriage. And I guess it was not because it was gifted during my first marriage, but just because it was gifted from a relative. I'm having a hard time getting rid of it, even though the chairs are kind of falling apart. I love the China hutch. I don't really want to split the set up. So I'm torn. I'm really torn. I really need to get rid of it or put it in a storage unit and get a smaller kitchen table that is more useful for our space, because it takes up the entire space where the kitchen table is supposed to go. And with not having, with the chairs, the backs on the chairs are kind of falling apart. So you got to sit on them very carefully. And that's not fun, you know, having to worry every time you sit down that you're not leaning back too hard as you're eating. It definitely has been a hindrance to me doing dinners, you know, and then really encouraging me in making dinner, because then it's okay, I'll take it over to the couch and my son will go downstairs, you know, so it's not having us together. Yeah, Crystal, I definitely encourage you to check out some chair exercises. Tracy is, you know, she is somebody who is a testament to what it can do. My mom has a horrible back. She had back surgery 35 years ago, maybe more than that. So, and I have degenerative disc disease. It's something that runs in the family. So, Carmela, I get it about having the hereditariness, the hereditary disease. And, you know, my years competing didn't help. My doctor said it probably hastened along the progression of my disc disease by about 10 years, which sucks. So I have to be very careful about my back and what I do. And I've been sleeping on my couch recently, only because one of my cats loves snuggling up with me when I'm on it. And I love cats snuggling up with me, I will admit. But when I do, oh, my back suffers. Even though I've got something behind it to kind of cushion it and make sure that I'm positioned right, at least I think, I have a more tendency to roll on my back. And it takes days and days for it to feel better. And I'm still not, you know, you guys see me, I keep readjusting, and that's why. So I definitely can sympathize with you guys. I wanted to check back and see if you have HelloFresh there in Denmark too? That's wonderful. See, Carmel says he uses catering all the time. We don't have a lot of catering things that you can buy smaller amounts from. You know, it's catering a party or something like that. They're all for large, you know, large things. Some of our grocery stores are starting to get in, are starting to make within their deli, either, you know, partially made foods or the foods together, but it's just the raw ingredients. But it's so expensive. It is just so expensive that I just, I haven't been able to take that leap. Jimena, great to see you. Have a great one. I don't even know what time it is, 7:30. Oh, we can probably go till 8. I need to check my phone, guys. It's been dinging off its hook, and I just need to make sure that there's nothing critical. There shouldn't be, considering my son is home. So that always makes me feel better. Okay, no, looks like just a lot of notifications. So that is all right. And Amazon, as normal, recommending more purchases for me. I do not need more purchases. I need to pay that off is what I need to do. I do not need more purchases. I need to get rid of some more stuff, which decluttering for me is another 2025 thing. But it's going to go hand in hand with the organization that I still have left to do of my office. My son has been doing his area, and he just asked me today, he is replacing some furniture down there, wants one of the pieces to come back up here, which is totally fine. But that means I got to clean out the closet here in my office to be able to move it in. So that's great. It's a wonderful impetus to be able to do that. And I have a hope. I could set a deadline by my anniversary to have my office done, but I just don't know that that's going to work. We'll have to see. I think I'll start working on this when the dresser gets brought up and the other furniture needs to get brought out. That's probably when I'll do it. So whenever that happens, I'll make a goal from there. I think I can do that. All right, I'm just scrolling back a little bit. I think I've caught everybody. If anybody else stopped in and I didn't say hi to you, I am so sorry. But say hi again, and definitely I will. Indigo says, I love organizing and decluttering. Used to have a cleaning business. Oh my gosh. Wow. Indigo, can you reach out to me and just email me so I have a contact for you? I'd love to talk to you about a few things. I'd love to talk to you about a few things with that. My office it's one of those things. It's my office for my work, for my everyday work, but it's also my office for doing, YouTubing and, paying the bills and, all that other kind of stuff. So being able to not have all of that stuff mixed together and have their own areas, I definitely need to figure out a few things with that. I've got baskets and I've got organizers and things like that. I haven't been able to figure out for this space how to do it as much. And I think part of that is this used to be my son's room, and there are still some remnants from that. Not everything got moved out. So I do need that space, do need to figure out where some of that stuff goes. But again, that is why he has been doing his space downstairs. So that the things that I still have up here can either get moved out, donated, or moved to his area down there. Great, that's awesome. Because I'd love to just talk to you in general. I know I've seen you on other people's lives, and the things we have in common trauma-wise. You guys know this is what I do for most of my lives. I do have people up, but there's another channel goal for me is doing more collaborations. And I think with that, I might expand it out to another day a week. So I won't say it's a goal of mine to have 3 days a week by the end of 2025, but I can see it growing into that because I do still like being able to have this format where it is just me talking about things that I want to talk about, going off on tangents, squirreling all over the place. But there's so many of you that I would love to speak with and bring your stories into the trauma talk, and what can we learn from each other that way. And it just deepens connections too. And I find that is so important. Like I said, and I only touched on it, but these connections, the connections that I've made with some of you got me through this year. It truly, truly did. My deepening friendship with my best friends wouldn't have happened without the internet. One of them through the community, through the SASA community, and through the communities that some of us came from before here. I wouldn't have met you guys. I know that I wouldn't have had the strength to keep going with this channel were it not for the connections that I've made, the community that we've created here, and the support that you've given me. Truly, this is where my heart and soul lies. Helping sexual assault and other trauma survivors is what I feel my life's work was really meant to be. You know, I still do the law because it's my day job. It pays the bills. This is where my heart is. And if I can one day have sponsorships that actually pays for the channel and pays for the basic bills, I don't need much. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I'm not setting that as a goal for myself right now because I have so many I have other little things, little steps that need to take place to get there. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with growing organically. I wouldn't be able to make the types of relationships that I have with some of you if I had grown too big too quickly. There is a personalness that comes from growing organically. And I can only have that if things, just kind of go as we are. Oh, wait a minute. I have Amazon Prime. You can get discounts? Oh, Amazon Fresh Stores. We don't have one here yet, which is funny because we have 2 huge distribution centers here. But we don't have we have a Whole Foods now, which was, we're not that small of a city. I would think that we've got to be next. I wonder if Detroit has them. They should. Hi, Sliminy. Happy New Year. How are you doing tonight? Shannon, I don't know if you're still here. Sliminy has a link as well. I don't have it right here, but I'm happy to throw it up if I get a link to it, Sliminy. Sophia Ware. Hi, Mark. How are you? Happy New Year. I hope things are going well for you. Oh, I love it when you guys talk European. Like I said, I have not traveled in Europe. I know basic geography, and that's pretty much it. The only place in Europe I have been is Brussels, and that is because it was a stopover on my way to Africa. And so I was extremely fortunate that I was with several other people who, one of them knew somebody in Brussels, and he took us around for the day. So it was an experience I will never forget. I'm going to take this banner off. This has been up long enough. So you guys can see the rest of my face here. See, I wish I won't call it a regret in life, because every choice got me to where I am now, right? But I certainly wish I'd had the guts to travel after college rather than getting married straight away, and getting into a job. I come from a very risk-adverse family. So jumping into things of the unknown is not in my background. We're planners. I'm definitely type A personality. But I have become much more of a free spirit, at least internally, in my older age. And so traveling, even if it's by myself, I'm okay with. I'd rather travel to somebody I know or at least have a contact, one for safety, but two, just because there's something of going around an area by yourself, but there's something else to having a local person take you around. They'll show you the big tourist things that you want to see if there's, something special in that city about whatever, but then show you the culture, show you what their city is really about. That's what I want. And that's the other wonderful thing about this community and the connections is meeting people from all over the world and having connections like that and say, hey, I'm going to be in Australia. Can we meet up? Or do you know somebody in this area who would be willing just to, spend the day with me and, we'll grab lunch. I'll pay for lunch and dinner or whatever, and just, take me around and, help me out and show me things. It's that kind of thing that I just am. I'm thrilled with. I'm just thrilled with. That's the only place where money becomes an obstacle, right? Is traveling, airfare, gas, that sort of thing. If that wasn't an issue, I swear I would be out the door because I can work from anywhere, which is, I'm very fortunate that way. And that's only happened since COVID. So who knows what'll happen in the future? I'm not putting it as a goal, but it's definitely something. I'll leave it bucket list. How about that? I think bucket list it's that goal that's kind of out there. Exactly, Crystal. Local people show you things that tourist groups won't get to see. And particularly, I am horrible at languages. Learning different languages has always been difficult for me, even as a little kid. I mean, I remember being in kindergarten, first grade, and Hebrew school, and even that was tough for me. And that's still supposed to be an age where your brain's pretty malleable and you're supposed to be able to pick up on that stuff really quickly. I've always had trouble with languages. I took 4 years of French in high school, and I learned enough to get me by, but that was about it. And I mean, that was high school, so that's gazillion years ago, and all that stuff's gone out the brain. So having somebody there who speaks the local language, who can help with that, for me is invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. Exactly, Indigo. Trying to be conscious of local stuff when you're in the local culture when you're traveling. I can look in books and try and find out, customs and things, but I don't know that I'd learn everything, and I don't want to offend anybody by something I do or something I say, or just that ignorant American. And so having somebody there is, again, just absolutely invaluable to me. So if and when I am able to get some money together where I can travel, you can 100% bet your bottom dollar I'll be reaching out to you guys. Carmel, I would 100% take you up on that. I would love it. Absolutely love it. Hi, Barbie. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. How has your new year been? Wait, 10,000 what? Oh, you're in Minnesota, Slim. Land of 10,000 lakes. You're right. But 11,842 lakes in Minnesota. Wow. Wow. Excuse me for a minute. I have to pull a Stigs. That's better. All right. Well, this is interesting. You say language and math use similar neural pathways. I struggle with both topics all my life. Now, math I never had a problem with, which is odd for lawyers, I know, because usually they're like, why did you become a lawyer? Because I suck at math. but I was pretty good at it. I mean, I ended up in, I took calculus my senior year of high school. I had a little bit of difficulty with calculus. I couldn't have gone farther. I do know that. The concepts get too out there. I mean, talking about astrophysics and a lot of things to do with space and black holes, that stuff just makes my mind ache. I can't conceptualize it at all. The concepts are just too bizarre for me. Okay, yes, let's look at Krumel and everywhere he's been, because he's been just a little travel body. After his 18th, he went to Israel, Egypt, the US, Canada, the Amazon, Cuba, Bali. Did you go to Egypt twice? Morocco, Tunisia, the Sahara, Congo, and Zimbabwe. Well, I've been to Kenya and the Caribbean, and that's about it. Oh, Barbie, don't worry about being late. We're still going. I'm still going to be going till probably at least another 15 minutes, I think. We'll see. I think I need to eat a little something before I go as well to bed. I did have that 3-hour nap. Actually, I had 2 naps today. As I said, that second one was the one that I really, really needed. I was saying hi to some of you guys at noon, 1 o'clock, and I was struggling. But that second nap really helped. So I might be up a little late tonight. We'll see. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Go to a sub shop and watch the whole world walk by. That's how you travel the world. How's your 2025 going, Rick? I hope you've had a good New Year's. Israel twice, Egypt once. Okay. Well, both places I want to go. I would love to go to Bali too. Oh, spend a few weeks there. Bali, Fiji, Tahiti, all the Polynesian islands. That's definitely an area that I want to go to too. Rick says he's talked to people from everywhere. This is my way of doing that. I don't get out a whole lot, and I need to more. I know, but at least I have you guys. I have this and for connection, and it has just been fabulous. And I learned so much from all of you. Hi, Joe Town. How you doing? Happy New Year to you too. It is going to be a good year. 2024 is in the past. Left that behind yesterday. 2025, it's okay. I woke up with a headache, but that's just the weather. Can't help the weather. Don't blame it. So I got to laze around actually and sleep. So that was a good day. That's a good start to 2025. I was going to do some work, but that didn't work out. That's all right. I'll work double tomorrow. Whatever. You found the perfect mud shoes. Awesome. If I went out more, that would be something I'd need. Barbie says she was in the village till 2 a.m. last night, so not going to be up too late tonight. There's so many interesting people in our community, and isn't that the truth? I'm blessed, absolutely blessed, and that all of you guys have seen that this channel is worth your while to come over and spend time with me as well. I could not be more appreciative. See, my best friend has been to Thailand, Indigo, and my brother's been to Japan. So 2 places that you wish you could go. I really would love to go as well. It's been forever since my brother was in Japan. But my best friend was in Thailand several times, and that is because he knew somebody who was in Singapore, So was over there. And I am looking for something right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why when I do it this way, it doesn't. There we go. Hang on, hang on, hang on. All right. There we go, Slim. I just dropped your link. Got over there. Oh, wow. You have traveled a bunch, Indigo. Wow. Israel, Italy, England, Scotland, Finland, Australia, New Zealand, and then a handful of states. Now, I have been most places east of the Mississippi. The only place west of the Mississippi I've been is California, and that's only because I flew into San Diego and I flew out. So US-wise, upper New England, I want, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, I would like to, I have not been to, and all of the Western states I would like to visit. So obviously Grand Canyon on my bucket list, and just tons of stuff out there. Love to visit Napa Valley, just to go to see. Don't even have to do it as a touristy thing, just to drive through. It's such a beautiful area. So just to go there and experience that. Of course, I'd probably stop at a few of the wineries along the way because I do love wine. But that's why I love wine tasting, because I just like a little bit. I don't like drinking huge amounts of wine. I hate the headaches that you can get. So definitely, I'm not a huge drinker. Oh my gosh, Sven. On his bucket list is New Zealand, Australia, Scotland, and America. Come on over. You've got enough contacts in this country. We will definitely help you see. But he has been to Sweden, Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Belgium, and France. You're a petrol head. And you've been to Le Mans 11 times, and Norway also. See, that's the thing with Europe, is it's so much easier for you guys to get from one place to another, whether it's by car or whether it's by rail. It's like traveling in the Northeast, things are so closer together. Just not the case here. So yeah, if I was to go to Europe, I would definitely want to be able to be there for a while, to be able to explore and go to different countries. And there's so much to see in all of your countries. Really, I could spend the rest of my life, traveling in different countries and working, and still be able to do this, which I would not leave behind. What do you think? Take trauma on the road? Yeah, I'm planning to be off here shortly at 8, Ned. So you're going to have an hour gap with Lester Crochet. I've got to get something to eat before bed. I'm feeling my headache kind of start back a little bit, but so I definitely need to get something to eat. Hey, Brazy, how you doing? Yep, I'm hanging in. I got an afternoon nap, so I am feeling so much better. But I can tell I'm getting a little something, so I would, if this wasn't trying to creep back, I'd cover that hour, Ned. But I know I just can't. I think if I do, I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah, definitely. We'll have trauma on the road. It'll truly be surviving together as I bring you all together with me. Yes, drink water, have a healthy snacks, rest, y'all. I found that I do love munching on carrots and celery. I think that they're, it's a great healthy snack, but I get the long carrots in the bag and I do peel them. Yeah, baby carrots are easier, but I found that a lot of times they're lacking flavor and they pretty much lack any nutritional value nowadays. They've gotten to them to the point where, the mass production has leached all of the good stuff out of it, which really, really bites. So the long carrots, they're so much more tastier, and that's what I will cook with. I won't cook with the baby carrots. They just don't add anything to me. So that's my healthy snack now. Oh, Indigo says, Ned, that she will that she can pop in for a little bit. So she can help you cover that hour before Blessed to Crochet is on. Oh no. There may be a guest room in Northern Germany soon. Well, it's certainly a place that I want to visit. I do need to get my passport renewed. It has expired, and unfortunately, it's expired more than a year, so I can't do it that quick thing. I can't do it online. I actually have to go to the post office or wherever else they take them and put it in there. I have to find my birth certificate as well. I'm missing a folder. See, this is the other thing with organizing my office, because I know that folder did not just up and walk away. I know I did not throw it out. So it is somewhere. It's labeled important papers. You would think it would be easy to find, but I haven't yet. But it is somewhere. So I definitely need to get that done, because I do want to do some traveling this year if I can afford it. That will just be awesome. I would be near the tea shop. I know. Gotta go. I gotta go, Mark. I gotta go. But listen, I think you have my email, Mark, survivingtogether, sass@gmail.com. If you need anything, you need somebody to talk to, please email me. I've got WhatsApp, so we can connect that way as well. I want to try and be there for, all of you guys in the Sassy community. See, I say Sassy community when it's Sassy. The C stands for the community. So I just say Sassy. As much as possible. I know that my time sometimes is limited, and I may not be able to be there as much as I'd like to. Being available to so many people also comes with the downside of having to take care of my mental health and looking at my boundaries and where I've placed them, and whether or not I am taking on, because I do tend to take on other people's feelings and problems. I don't consider myself an empath, just I consider myself empathic and sympathetic. And one of the things that we're going to start talking about next Wednesday, so a week from today, is about online relationships. We're first going to start talking about online predation. So for adults and children, people who reach out and are grooming either kids or adults in dating situations, and talking about how do we protect ourselves from that? How do you establish online relationships? How do we protect our kids? And as adults, how do we establish online relationships if you're looking romantically without getting sucked in? We've talked about love bombing before, but I want to speak some more about red flags And then that's going to roll into on Saturday, the 11th. So a week from this coming Saturday, we're going to talk about online relationships and relationships such as this, ones that you meet and you make a connection with and you have friendships with. We still need our boundaries. We still need to make sure that we're keeping our own mental health. We need to make sure that we're connecting with the right people. Because just because people come into our community, it doesn't mean that those are the right people for us to connect with, for either personal reasons or professional channel reasons. It can be, either one, whether it's a trolling type situation and we don't realize it, or, whether it's a situation where for my mental health, I can't have a deep connection with somebody. And it's happened in the past. And it is just a matter of making sure that we understand ourselves and understand where we need to be. And it's not meant as a slight to the other person. It is not meant as I don't like you as a person. It's a matter of I have to put a boundary between my problems and another person's problems and the amount that I can extend myself to them. And that can suck at times because I'm in this trauma-related field. I'm in this mental health field, and I do want to help. I want to help as many people as I possibly can, but I can't be there one-on-one for everybody. And that is something that I learned in 2024. And I think it's a good lesson for all of us, especially as our communities are growing and we're being exposed to more people, that we have to watch ourselves. And it's not always easy to tell online. I don't want to say the good from the bad, but just the people who are healthy to connect with and those that we may need to put up some boundaries for. So that's what, so that's why I decided to break that into a two-parter, online relationships into a two-parter, from just online relationships like this and online predation, predatory, people who are being predatory on others. So they're going to be separate lives. So the 9th, I think it is, whatever, next Wednesday, oh, it's going to be the 8th. Let's add 1 to 7, Sharon. See, math. Oh. So the 8th and the 11th, that's going to be the 2 lives. And I do have thumbnails for those. Thank you, Kamal. I appreciate that, saying don't feel obliged. But I also don't want that to be viewed as don't reach out to me, because that's not the case. It's up to me to put into place my individual boundaries. And if I have to back off something, if I can only give so much, then that's on me. And I don't want anyone to feel like they can't reach out because they don't want to overwhelm me or they don't want to bother me with their problems. Sometimes it is simple as just having a person to say something on a particular day. I can do that. I can communicate back and forth. I'm no one's therapist, and I'm never pretending to be. I don't have a degree. I have my experience and I have what I learn. And I learned so much from all of you as well, and your experiences and things you guys have learned about mental health. So please still reach out. Don't ever hold back because you don't want to bother someone with your problems. It is up to that person to have their own boundaries in place and limit exposure if they need to. So exactly, Barbie. Sometimes it's just you're having a day and maybe your normal support people aren't available that day. And you just need to know that there are other people out there. You just need to have somebody say, God, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. And you know, I'm gonna pray for you. Or I'm sending you hugs and love today. And just having even that small of a connection can mean everything to somebody. It got them through that particular day or that particular hour. Because I know sometimes we have to do it minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. You know, I have those days. Believe me, I still have those days. And I know I'm still going to have them in the future. I would say one of the biggest things that I want from 2024, and I'm not setting it as a goal because to me, there's nothing I can set, but I know I'm always going to have highs and lows. And we don't appreciate our highs without having some lows, right? I just hope I can regulate that a little bit more, you know, have that a little more smaller modulation in those ups and downs and not having it going like this instead. And part of that has been me learning my boundaries. I had pretty good boundaries in place for things like dating and, you know, red flag predation type people. I didn't have as great as boundaries in place for friendships or just connections, getting to know people. And there I learned a lot. I learned a lot this past year. So hopefully I can help. Hopefully I can help with some of you guys on that, and any feedback you have on your own experiences, whether that's with somebody predatory online or whether it's just been with making connections, making friendships, you know, establishing platonic relationships with somebody else online. You have other feedback, I would love it. It'll be a great chat, I think. And something that I think is just needed. It's a conversation that needs to happen as we grow. You know, we're not always going to meet the right people for us. And sometimes we're going to meet bad people or not nice people. And being able to tell the difference, I think, is crucial. Oh, you are very empathic, Christy. Oh, Christy has a live going later. How wonderful. If I'm awake, I will definitely listen. Otherwise, I should get a notification for it and I can watch it in the morning over coffee, because that would be great. It's like riding a wave, Max says. The lows makes the highs more exciting. Yes. Just want to have a little less of a dip between the two. Oh, I got to tell you about a short that I watched the other day, and there was like a river or a channel or something that was close to the ocean, and they actually diverted it. They dug in the sand, and it was just a small trench. But because it's sand going out into the ocean, before long, it had eroded the sand on either side where it was this deep crevice. And the waves then that were coming in, people were surfing on it. It was like, wow, amazing for one. But then I looked at the damage that really was done to the beach overall and just went, oh my God, I hope that that's a private area. You know, I hope this is not a public area where, you know, kids are going to be running across and all falling down a 10-foot ditch, because that water just eroded the sand and you could see the banks of those sand walls were just going. That was, I mean, scary actually. because I don't know then if they tried to fill it up or what. I mean, did they divert the entire river? You know, I'm really interested actually to see what happened with it, to see where it is now. It's, oh, that was absolutely scary. Oh, did you see it, Krumel? Krumel says those diggers got arrested. Good, because if it wasn't private property, well, even if it was, you would have riparian rights with that river for people up and downstream. So it doesn't matter if it was, I'm imagining, it wouldn't matter. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. Here is the link to Ned's channel, and she's going to be a couple minutes in getting in there, but definitely will for the next hour be filling in before we have somebody else who's scheduled to go live, I guess, at 9 o'clock. So if you guys aren't done for the night, if you are interested in getting more of the village, please head on over to Ned's. It is. I mean, at first I was like, oh, wow, look at that. You know, they're like, and then I realized what was happening, and it was horrifying to me. Horrifying. I mean, I only live 45 minutes from Lake Michigan, and the erosion, just the natural erosion that's happened there, has been incredible. And there's one area that's a little farther south from where I am along Lake Michigan, where they have been fighting. The people who want to protect the dunes there have been fighting with somebody who, I don't know if they bought the property or they're trying to buy the property, like the sellers are willing to sell, but they want to put condominiums there. And the people fighting for the dunes, last I knew, the dunes won the appeal that had happened. So I don't know if it's going to go any farther. I don't know if it's gone to our Supreme Court or not. But it is incredibly important that we protect our coastal areas. You know, I look at what happens in the South and what's been happening along the Gulf of Mexico as the hurricanes are getting worse and worse. And we're seeing more Category 3 and 4 and occasional 5 hurricanes now in our hurricane season, which has gotten longer as well. The amount of coastal damage that is happening there is frightening. The U.S. is going to be a lot smaller 50 years from now, I think. You know, you look at the waters in general that have been warming, you know, our oceans, the amount that's been warming, and how much of the polar ice caps we're losing, and Antarctica, which from an environmental standpoint, I'm not happy that we're losing ice on Antarctica, and for everything that it can happen. I mean, if some of those shelves do cut loose, there's areas of the world that are in really bad trouble. Particularly, that is eventually going to melt, and that will raise the coastal waters places. But the land that's been being exposed on Antarctica, which used to be a viable place for living, you know, long time ago, it used to have green and leaves and, you know, areas where animals lived. Finding that stuff is like really, really cool. And especially, you know, the northern areas too, in Alaska and northern Canada, the things that they have been discovering as the ice is retreated have just been amazing. And the preservation quality is incredible because they've been frozen. So you've had leathers and wood and stuff that, and fabric, things that otherwise would not have made it. And so from an archaeological standpoint, it's super exciting. So my two halves war with each other over that. Oh, yeah. Carmel says, especially over here, the entire country is below sea level. What was it? Is it Malta, I think? I'm not sure, but there's Malta or the Maldives. I think it started with an M, but basically where it's people are, they think within 50 years there will be no more of that country because the ocean will have overtaken it. It's been happening that in the last 100 years that quickly, that so quickly that people are actually emigrating out, and they're encouraging people to emigrate out because they know that it's not going to be viable long term. That's scary. That's scary. Wow, Carmel, you live 6 meters below sea level. Whew, wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, guys. Well, I think that we're going to head out now that Ned is up and going on her channel. Misha, I thank you so much for having organized this latest live for us for New Year's. I know so many people have connected again through these, would not have normally. And I'm sure got a lot of people through a holiday that they might otherwise just have spent 100% totally alone and lonely. And this prevented that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to each and every one of you that I have come in contact with who are new to the channel, those of you who have been here on my channel from the beginning, bless you. Thank you. I am absolutely honored to have each and every one of you as subscribers, as supporters. Remember, you are worthy, you are valuable, and you're loved just the way you are for who you are. Hugs and love from me. Surviving together, never alone. Night, guys.